Titan does not look dangerous. That is the first lie. From space, it looks almost peaceful, a round orange world wrapped in haze drifting beside Saturn. But that haze is hiding one of the strangest places we have ever found. A world with rivers, lakes, rain, coastlines, dunes, clouds, and seasons. The shape of Earth is there, but the chemistry is wrong. The rivers are not water. The rocks are not really rock. The rain would not refresh you. And the air, thick enough to feel almost comforting, would still be useless to your lungs. This is Titan, the moon that looks familiar for all the wrong reasons. Titan should not be this interesting. Many moons are exposed worlds, cratered, frozen, airless, or nearly airless. Titan is different. Titan is wrapped. Titan has no right to be what it is. It is larger than the planet Mercury. It is the only moon in the entire solar system with a dense atmosphere. That atmosphere is made mostly of nitrogen, just like Earth's. The surface pressure is about 1.5 times what you feel standing at sea level right now. For decades, astronomers knew Titan was there, knew it had this unusual atmosphere, and could see almost nothing. The haze blocked everything. Titan wrapped itself in an opaque orange veil and refused to show its surface. It took radar, infrared sensors, and eventually a direct descent to understand what was underneath. What they found was not a dead frozen rock. It was a world with geography. Titan has a complete weather cycle, not a trace of one, a full, functional system. Water evaporates on Earth, forms clouds, falls as rain, flows through rivers, collects in oceans. Titan does the exact same thing. Evaporation, clouds, rainfall, rivers carving valleys into the surface, liquid collecting in massive polar seas. The difference is that none of it is water. The rain is liquid methane, the rivers are methane, the seas are methane and ethane, hydrocarbons, flammable ones. On Earth, these are fuels. On Titan, they are the ocean. The largest of these seas is called Kraken Mare. It sits near Titan's North Pole and covers an area roughly comparable to the Caspian Sea on Earth, except it is filled with liquid methane at -179 degrees under an orange sky, in a place that has never seen sunlight the way you understand it. And Titan has dunes, long dark ridges running across equatorial regions, some hundreds of meters high. Not sand dunes. These are made of organic particles, complex carbon-based molecules that form high in the atmosphere and slowly rain down onto the surface over millions of years. Even the ground on Titan is chemically unusual. Here is the detail that breaks the intuition most cleanly. Titan has water, substantial amounts of it. The crust is made largely of water ice. There may be a liquid water ocean beneath the surface, kept from freezing by internal heat. But at -179 degrees, surface water ice does not behave like something fragile or fluid. It behaves like rock. It is rock, geologically speaking. It forms the solid ground. It makes up the cliffs and the terrain. On Earth, water flows over rock. On Titan, water is the rock. And methane does the flowing. That single inversion reconfigures everything you intuitively understand about what a landscape is supposed to be. If you somehow stood on the surface of Titan, you would not die in any dramatic way. The atmosphere is dense enough that you would not need a pressurized suit, not the way you would on the Moon or Mars. The gravity is low, about 1/7 of Earth's. The air pressure is manageable. In purely mechanical terms, Titan is one of the most physically accessible places in the outer solar system. You would still be dead within minutes. The temperature alone is sufficient, -179 degrees. No oxygen to breathe. The atmosphere is nitrogen and methane, nothing your body can use. You would not explode or be crushed or boil. You would simply stop quietly in thick orange air on solid ground, under a sky with no visible sun. Titan is the most almost habitable place beyond Earth we know of. That almost is the entire point. If you could stand on Titan safely for 1 hour, would you go? Or would you rather only see this world from orbit? On January 14, 2005, a small probe called Huygens entered Titan's atmosphere and began its descent. Huygens had been traveling for 7 years, attached to the Cassini spacecraft, waiting. When Cassini released it and it hit the upper atmosphere, it deployed parachutes and spent 2 hours and 27 minutes falling through the haze. The entire time it was transmitting data, images, measurements, atmospheric readings, everything it could capture on the way down. It landed. For 72 minutes after touchdown, Huygens transmitted from the surface of Titan. Then it went silent. What it sent back before the silence, smooth, rounded pebbles on a flat plain, shaped by fluid flow, the same way river stones are shaped on Earth. A surface the color of pale orange sand, a sky filled with haze, no visible horizon, no stars, no direct sunlight. Those 72 minutes are the only time in human history that we have received a signal from the surface of a world in the outer solar system. No mission has landed there since. The images Huygens sent are still the only ground-level photographs of Titan that exist. During those 72 minutes, the signal from Huygens took over an hour to reach Earth. Huygens was transmitting in real time, and we were listening an hour behind. It saw something no instrument from orbit could give us, not data, not radar maps, but the actual texture of the place. And then it was gone. There are more worlds like this. Subscribe, and we will visit them one by one. Titan produces organic chemistry on a scale we do not fully understand. The methane in the atmosphere is constantly being broken down by solar radiation into more complex molecules. Hydrocarbons, nitriles, organic compounds that drift down and coat the surface. This is why the haze is orange. It is the visible result of continuous chemical reactions happening across the entire atmosphere, billions of kilometers from the sun. Here is the problem. That process destroys methane. Over geological timescales, the methane should be gone by now. It has been depleted and rebuilt, and the source of the replenishment is not fully confirmed. Cryovolcanism, ice volcanoes releasing stored methane from the interior. Underground reservoirs, internal degassing. The mechanisms exist as hypotheses. The answer does not yet exist as fact. Something on Titan is actively maintaining its own atmosphere. We do not know exactly what, and that means Titan is not a static frozen world. It is a system still running, still exchanging material between its interior, its surface, and its sky. The organic chemistry goes further than that. Researchers have even explored whether Titan-like conditions could allow cell-like structures to form in liquid methane. That does not mean life exists there. It means Titan forces a stranger question. How much of life depends on Earth and how much depends on chemistry itself? No one has answered that yet. And that raises a strange question. If something is alive on Titan right now, would we even recognize it as alive? Titan is not frightening because it is completely alien. It is unsettling because it is almost familiar. It has weather, rivers, seas, dunes, coastlines, and an atmosphere. It runs a version of the same planetary logic as Earth. It just runs it with different materials at temperatures that make our entire definition of habitable meaningless under a sun too far away to warm anything. It is not Earth's twin. It is Earth's shadow, a version of what a world can become when the same rules apply and the chemistry is wrong. And right now, something is being built to go back. Not a rover, something that flies. But that is a different story.